Welcome to Coin Engineer, friends. Today we will examine the Backpack Exchange together. How can we use the Backpack Exchange from a phone, and for what purposes should we use this exchange? What kind of advantage can it provide us? We will talk about these. Specifically, the Backpack Exchange is built on the Solana ecosystem. This already brings it directly to the forefront. Besides that, some special features within it provide great advantages for investors. Friends, its use is extremely simple. It has a minimal interface. You can use it as a wallet, just like Metamask or on the BNB chain. Or you can switch to the exchange section, meaning the trading section, and trade. You can trade on the futures side. You can even borrow. You can even lend. But what excites me, especially on the Backpack side, are the airdrops. Opportunity, friends. As you know, most famous cryptocurrency exchanges have a token. These tokens have really significant market values. However, Backpack does not yet have its own token. But such rumors are circulating. Friends, it is likely that a token with the back ticker is being worked on. That's why it's quite important. So, how can we take advantage of this opportunity and other opportunities within this exchange? To understand this, friends, I will tell you about the scoring system. You can think of it like a game. If you elevate yourself to higher levels in that scoring system, you will benefit much more from future airdrop opportunities. That's why we are closely examining Backpack and making investments. We believe it will benefit us when the time comes. If you haven't subscribed to Coin Engineer yet, subscribe now. You can find everything about crypto on this channel. We share educational series, current news, current opportunities, everything, friends. To not miss these, you can subscribe and hit the bell button. Or if you still have questions about the sector or the world of cryptocurrency, be sure to write them in the comment section. I will personally answer them. You can download it either from iOS or Google Play. You download it like a standard application. Friends, as you can see, our application has been downloaded. If you have previously created a wallet from the browser or registered with the Backpack Exchange, you can log in directly with that information. Friends, however, if you are starting from scratch, you can easily open an account via mobile as well. To create a new wallet, we say create new wallet. Friends, if you want to import your wallet, you can use the options below. For example, with your recovery words, you can directly log into your wallet from here in a very short time. Quickly, I say, create new wallet. It is setting up my wallet. You can also enter our referral when signing up. Friends, if you write Coin Engineer, as you see on the screen, this will also benefit us, so you will be giving us a small support as well. Apart from that, it will of course ask you for a password, and then give you 12 words. Write these words on a piece of paper. Never. Keep them digitally. Here, from another platform. For example, if you want to log into this account again from Google Chrome or from another phone, you can log in with those codes. Do not lose them. Never, friends. In short, wallet operations are this simple. However, what I really want to show you, the transition from wallet to exchange, friends. So, you can switch to the exchange through the mobile application So, it's not just a wallet application. I click on the left main at the top left. When I click on the wallet section, it says exchange, meaning the exchange at the bottom. When I click there, if you already have an account, you can log in with it. Or, you can create a new account. We enter our email and password. For this, you can use the link below again. Friends, this will benefit you again for a short time. It will be beneficial at some stages, and you will be using our reference. So, I recommend registering through that link when signing up for the exchange. This way, you can register your account. Friends, I logged into my own account. If you register using the link below, you will be in a more advantageous position. Apart from that, after registering, friends, you will need to verify your identity. You will need to show your face. You can complete those steps by uploading a photo of your ID and showing yourself to the exchange with the camera. Security is everything. To combat various hacking incidents or illegal activities, we now have to provide our identity when registering on every exchange. So there's no need to worry about this. So how can we use this exchange? Friends, this is what I really want to focus on. First of all, as you can see, it has a quite simple interface, and there is also a Turkish option. That's also great. To deposit money, you say deposit, friends. Here, of course, is the simplest way. What else? It would be to send USDC or USDC from a wallet here. I will say, buy crypto. When you come here, friends, as you can see, Solana greets us directly, but you don't have to send Solana. Yes, we are using the Solana network, but when you click on the top one, You can also send one of these cryptocurrencies. So you can also use stable coins like USDC or USDC. But I especially recommend choosing USDC on this exchange. It will be much easier to trade, or you can directly send Solana. So is this your Solana wallet address? From another wallet or another exchange, you can send any cryptocurrency you want via Solana A to here. Similarly, when we want to withdraw our money and transfer it to another exchange, we will use the withdrawal section, and we will transfer the cryptocurrency we have to whichever wallet we want to send it to. Friends, classic cryptocurrency transfer. Besides this, small buttons named buy and sell have been placed for trading. You can start trading immediately by clicking either there or on the buy and sell section below. Of course, the buy and sell options at the top have a simpler interface. If you want to buy and sell quickly, the platform provides a kind of convenience to the user. But if you're already familiar with crypto, I recommend using the panel below, because this area is more professional. After all, we can give our orders more specifically. We can set a TP, right? Here, it directly opened the futures, but in the first stage we are interested in, it will be spot. To make a purchase from the spot section, we can click on this part and select the cryptocurrency we want. For example, I want to buy Jupiter. I click on it. Friends, what you need to do here, friends, is to place an order. It can be a limit order or a market order. As you know, in the market, I'm just saying, I want to buy 100 JUP at 33 USDC. When I say buy, the purchase will be executed immediately, because it will set the best possible options for me. This is what the market means anyway. In the limit, friends, 33 cents. What I'm saying right now is Jupiter. I'm saying if it drops to 30 cents, buy me 200 Jupiter. So, I will be placing an order worth $60. You can also use this to set a different level if you want to buy at a slightly different price. Also, if I say buy by writing the current price, it will buy immediately since it matches the current price. We usually recommend a limit order, of course, because with a market order it's usually a bit more. A commission is deducted. The selling part is the same way, friends. By saying sell, you can sell your cryptocurrencies. For example, if I had Jupiter right now, I could directly sell my 200 Jupiter from the market. Or we can place an order at the limit. For example, I will say sell when it reaches 40 cents. When I place my order, it will enter the order book. The cryptocurrencies you purchase will appear in the portfolio section. Friends, by the way, you can freely see it here. They belong to you even if the market falls. Just like buying a stock. But most of the questions we receive are usually related to the futures side. Friends, as soon as you click on buy sell, it directed us to the futures side. I click on futures from the top left. There is a similar environment again. The buy sell section says long short. As you can see, entry level for futures trading. I assume you know this, friends. Long, which we call long, means opening an upward position. Short, which we call short, means opening a downward position. For example, I opened a short on Solana, or let's say short here. In that case, it means I will make money as Solana falls. If it rises, I will incur a loss. Here, we also have limit and market orders. Similarly, if you use a market order, your transaction starts immediately, opens immediately. However, with a limit, for example, I want to open a short not at this price, but if it rises to the $105 level, then I can use the limit. I usually use the limit anyway. Of course, the thing that is often wondered about is leverage. You can also adjust your leverage from here if you wish. It goes up to 50 leverage, but of course it's beneficial to keep it low. Friends, as leverage increases, risk increases. So let's say we use 10 leverage, and if we are 10% in the red in our transaction, we completely lose our transaction. Therefore, in order to manage our risk well, we should focus on futures trading with small amounts. For example, we should conduct futures trading with 1% to 2% of our portfolio, and we should use low leverage. I will also prefer 5 leverage. Besides this, friends, my personal recommendation to you is to enter your TP and stop loss before you even start the trade, because we are all emotional beings. Since we act emotionally, we can believe it will increase further when we are in profit, or think it might turn around when we are in loss. Take profit is the point where we want to take our profit. Let's say, I will open a short at 105 with 5 leverage, meaning I will make money as it falls. A type of transaction. Then my take profit could be $100. I'm just saying, friends. My stop loss point could be 108, friends. If it starts to go up from 105, my trade will also be open. If it goes too high, my trade is at a reasonable level. It will stop. So, I will have accepted the loss. Instead of closing the trade at a complete loss, I will have closed it with a small loss. But if it goes down to $100 and hits 105, I will take TP, meaning I will automatically make a profit sale. Of course, you need to analyze this by looking at a chart. You need to use fundamental and technical analysis. Right now, I'm just trying to explain the logic to you. This is definitely not investment advice. I never open a short on Sol anyway. You could also think of this in the long direction. It was just an example. The places where we open trades, in other words, the spot section, where we buy and sell, is here, friends. So how will we manage our trades once we open them? When you scroll them down a bit, they are already open. There are orders, positions, balances, and barrows, which I will also talk about now. Here, you will actually be able to see many things, including your position history. Friends, again, if you focus on this upper part, there is a debt section. Friends, let's say you are holding Solana or USDC for the long term there. Look, let's click here. Or you are holding Ethereum, you are holding Bitcoin. You can lend these. Friends, in return, you will earn income at reasonable levels. The rates are already written here. If I lend Solana right now, I will earn an income of 0.3%. Let's also mention that this is on an annual basis. And this income accrues daily, friends. Apart from this, if I want to borrow, the interest rate is 2.0%. 25. Of course, we can't just borrow and lend as we please. Let's mention that as well. You need to have a certain amount of money even when borrowing. You use it as a kind of collateral. In other words, the part we call lent is the part where we lend, friends. Let's say I have Solana and I want to lend them. In that case, I want to lend 5 of my Solana using this panel. I can lend in this way. Let's say we want to retrieve the loan we gave. Then from the buy section, we can easily and instantly retrieve the loan we gave. Similarly, you can also borrow by showing your cryptocurrencies as collateral source from the borrow section. And when you want to repay this loan, you can pay back the loan you took by clicking on the repayment section under borrow. You can also manage the loans you have taken from this borrow section. Friends will come there. Since everything is in Turkish, it's quite easy, friends. So I don't really recommend taking loans, of course. But from time to time, the lending part might make sense. If you have cryptocurrencies that you plan to hold long term, for example. If you have Solana, you can lend it here completely risk-free. And how will these benefit you, friends? I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. There are airdrop opportunities, a newly growing cryptocurrency exchange. Its vision is quite broad and it doesn't even have its own token yet. However, its release is inevitable. Friends, all these transactions we make, our trades, our volumes actually earn us points, friends. When you enter the lower section, you will have points based on the pioneers transactions you have made in the points section. Think of it like a game where you level up. The more transactions you make, the more points you accumulate. One of my accounts is around 15 to 16. I just opened this one. Friends, I haven't done too many transactions yet, but I am considering moving many of my swing positions here because I want to benefit from airdrops. Friends, airdrops, it's like money falling from the sky, an amazing thing. Again, if you look at some details in this points section, you can see that earning points is not just about buying and selling. For example, you can do this by holding Mad Lads. This is an NFT, friends, belonging to Backpack. Apart from this, you can also do the same by inviting and referring your friends. In this way, you are actually farming points. You are farming points. And when opportunities arise, you are rewarded according to your points. Friends, I hope this video has been a good guide for you. I hope it has cleared up the question marks in your mind. By the way, I recommend you join our Backpack Futures Telegram group, friends. Let's also mention that we are active there. I am leaving the link below. You can join us if you wish. The Backpack exchange really has great potential. I think it will be one of the most used exchanges in the upcoming bull market. That's why I pay attention to farming points. Friends, I recommend this to you as well. I hope it has been beneficial. Don't forget to like our videos, friends. And if you have any questions about Backpack, write them in the comments. Don't hesitate at all. Take very good care of yourselves. Goodbye.